Good afternoon. This is Bambi Meadowlake for the Abolition News Network, April 1st, 1783. We are about to interview the two belligerents in the case of the slave ship Zong. The ship left Liverpool in September of 1781 with a full load of 442 slaves for Jamaica in the West Indies, and the Captain Luke Collingwood threw 133 overboard for some reason. We are going to try to get to the bottom of this before the judge, Lord Mansfield, reaches his final verdict in the second trial. Representing the ship owners here is William Gregson, senior partner of the company, and representing the insurance company is Mr. Gilbert of Gilbert & Company. Serving tea for the Abolition News Network is receptionist Miss Clarissa Coldwater. Gentlemen, we are here today to get to the real facts regarding why 133 live slaves of the Zong were thrown into the ocean and who's going to pay whom for damages.
Well, so far, Captain Luke Collingwood's charge of murder against him has not been proven, or any evidence of cruelty, and we are asking to be paid for 133 slaves.
It was 132 slaves. One of them managed to climb back on board. We're not counting that one. If anything, these high and mighty slave merchants and their slave trading cronies are guilty of at least 133 crimes against God and the Christian world.
What's the Christian world have to do with this? Slaves are pagan. They probably don't even have one God.
Wait a minute, gentlemen, where does murder come into this if the slaves that were sick and died naturally were buried at sea?
That's ridiculous. As co-owner of the ship, I protest the charge of murder, since the slaves were similar to having dead horses that had to be disposed of into the sea. There's no crime in that.
You should be horsewhipped if you think slaves are the same as horses. The real issue here is insurance fraud, and that is a crime. At the trial, you stated there was no water on board, yet the ship was found to have 420 gallons on board when it reached Jamaica. Take a look at this image here. I want to know why these people were thrown into, the slaves were thrown into the ocean without a drop to drink.
Well, if this is a case of thirst, maybe you two should shuttle this over a bottle of rum.
Now hold on, we're not up to agreeing on anything. Mr. Gregson, how much money are you asking for?
It's simple. I want this stonewalling insurance company of Gilbert & Company to cough up 30 British pounds for each of the slaves we lost by drowning at sea. 3,960 pounds for the 132 sick and dying slaves.
Hold on to that ridiculous idea. We heard from the first mate, Kelso. He stated there was no water on board. Not only that, he said you passed up 8 ports of call where you could have resupplied before getting to Jamaica. And one more thing. How about the 10 slaves that jumped overboard for personal reasons?
What personal reasons? I'm about to jump over myself. No one's answered my question about what the slaves have to say.
Yes, good point. Who is speaking for the slaves?
Miss Meadowlake, Miss Coldwater, don't stick your heads in the sand. Slaves are just like equipment or property being shipped. Don't get so emotionally attached to them. They are worthless when they are sick.
You are worthless, Mr. Grierson. You should have to pay for the 10 slaves that were jumped overboard for personal reasons, and maybe because they didn't like the accommodations, or maybe they didn't like the captain, or they just wanted to return back to Africa.
I got it. Maybe everyone should pay everyone else off.
Gentlemen, I just realized we're not getting anywhere. Where was the captain when he got lost? Did he not have a compass?
Who said he got lost at sea? He just couldn't tell Santo Domingo from Jamaica. All the islands look alike. Nobody can blame him for that.
Oh, now we're getting somewhere. The captain was confused. He lost command of his ship. He should have been court-martialed for that. And why was he short of food? Was he some kind of nitwit?
I got it. He should have been feeding them better food. No wonder.
It's too late for that. The slaves are dead, and the captain is dead. Let's bring this case to a close and settle out of court before the Chief Justice, Lord Mansfield, lowers the boom.
Before he lowers anything, I'd rather flip a coin at this point.
Yes, before he lowers the boom, I'd like to file a personal lawsuit against Mr. Gilbert for trying to make my shipping company look bad.
And I would like to file a countersuit against you, Mr. Gregson, for setting my company up to take the fall for this loss. Your company is a sloppy, slipshod shipping company.
You know, I would not ship and insure anything from you two, even if you were shipping and insuring baby food. In fact, I could sail the ship myself. All I'd have to do is follow the seagulls.
I think we've reached a stalemate here. The case should be submitted to Parliament to decide the bigger question. Should the slave trade, from the example of the Zong here, be outlawed worldwide? And answer the question, are laws that diminish humanity really laws? And finally, can you put a price tag on a human being, or are human lives priceless and not subject to monetary worth? This is Bambi Meadowlake for the Abolition News Network saying good afternoon.